Hello, welcome to another Stat 510 video. This will be a quick video introduction to week number, let's see if I get this right, six, this many. So we go here. I gotta click again. Okay, cool. So at this point, these intro videos are probably becoming boring because you know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. All right, so, right. What was I going to say? Aha, right. So last week we talked about using the empirical distribution to estimate a distribution function. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to continue on that path of non-parametric estimation. And so we sort of saw how we can more or less use the empirical distribution plus this plug-in principle idea to sort of generate point estimates for almost anything. So what we're going to do this week is introduce first sort of the general notion of simulation. We've kind of been hinting at it in some homeworks, but we're going to say some specific things about it and maybe talk about sort of generally how to do that in R. But then we're going to introduce the Bootstrap, which is a computational sort of simulation-based technique for, in this particular case, doing additional non-parametric estimation, in particular helping us to develop interval estimates, so confidence intervals. This is going to be sort of very related to the empirical distribution for a number of ways, but one of the ways it's sort of similar is that this technique is sort of, I don't want to say a one-size-fits-all, but it's kind of a very generic technique that can be used in many, 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 many situations. They're very similar in that way. They have other relationships as well, but that's sort of a one way to think about it. So usual reading, not a ton of reading this week. This Martin reading is a repeat of last week because it sort of mixes talking about both the empirical distribution and Bootstrap. Usual videos, new homework, usual office hours. So the additional information this week, I linked a bunch of Stack Overflow, in particular, cross-validated threads where folks were asking sort of how do I describe this? Sort of like high level questions about the Bootstrap, sort of like when is it appropriate? Does it work? Those kind of things, and some of those questions were sort of strongly hinting at in some of the homework questions this week, but there's also some discussion here of those things. So I think it would be useful to sort of think about some of these things. I kind of like this one here, talking about, there's a sort of notion sometimes people say, these non-parametric methods like the Bootstrap are good for small samples. But is that really true? And this kind of discusses that, among other things. So it wouldn't hurt to sort of start, starting to think outside of just like, oh, hey, I can apply this to data, but like think about more generally, like when does this apply? Does it work? When does it not work? And those sorts of things. Right. Okay. So you knew what I was going to say in this video because at this point you've seen a bunch of these and you can look at the website, but I don't know. I feel like I need to say these things to a class, so here I am. All right, so as always, if you made it to the end of the video, good job, and I'll see you in the next one.